Hello, this is a base tour of my Marathon Deathworld base that is just about to complete. I've put about 50 hours into this map, which was a lot longer than I expected. Marathon definitely takes a lot longer. I think it's got 4x research and plus expensive recipes. So that's sort of what it looks like. Now, if you don't know my bases, I tend to love spaghetti bases, so that's what you get. We've got science down here. Down around here was sort of the starter base kind of area. I've actually still got the original copper smelting, though it doesn't really do anything. We've got a bit of a mall. Never got to blue belt. I was probably just about ready to do that, but just never really needed it. Steel smelting is not used because we moved it off base. The initial power. So one of the things I did in this was I beelined straight to solar and efficiency modules, which meant that it kept pollution down a lot. You can see here that the pollution was a very small contributor to the Evo factor, so much so that I've only just hit behemoth binders in the last couple of hours, even though it's been 50 hours of playtime. So there we go, there's the rocket ready to go. So that was the base, some initial solar and accumulators, but then ended up using a blueprint up here eventually. We're not using that much power because we've got so many efficiency modules everywhere. So about 300 megawatts. That's really just jumped up recently because I started beaconing everything. I also went for nuclear. I probably didn't need to do that. I probably could have. I was anticipating having to do a lot more beaconing and to get my production up, but there's some nuclear there. One of the things with Marathon is the recipe for green circuits is doubled. So you need 8 copper cable, you need 4 iron plates for cogs. I don't know if that's twice as much for blue but either way, you just need the green circuit. It's just ridiculous. So I thought I'd have to do some more beaconing there. I ended up to finish, doing some hyper beaconing like this with efficiency modules just to finish things off. But yeah, no, that wasn't fun trying to get enough green circuits. You can see here, it's not currently filling the belts because some of my outposts have run out, but green circuits there. So I made a couple of attempts. Like here was my first attempt at doing a dedicated green and red production. I thought this would be cool because there was copper here and iron ore, but in hindsight, this copper just wasn't big enough to support anything useful. So I probably should have just trained in some more. I also did some oil processing here for plastic. So this was sort of my first train production facility. There we go, there's some copper over there. Oil. So this map was kind of tough. There wasn't a huge amount of oil. Now let me turn the train station off. So we've got oil there and there, but they ran out very quickly. So you can see the yields are very low. I finally found this one over here, which I used for rocket fuel and a few other bits and pieces. But that came really late. That's my most recent one. And the other thing is that there's virtually no uranium on the map. So there's a patch up there, patch here. But I finally found this patch here. So I probably took a lot longer to get nuclear and just built a lot slower than I would have had to otherwise. So that's probably something I should have checked when I was building the map. Some original spaghetti rails here. I've used double-header trains on this map just to mix it up. I think next map I'm going back to single. The double, I don't know, I just aesthetically don't love it. What else? So over here we did, so we've got some, that's copper with steel. Yep, so did some offsite steel production here that worked out okay. But then tried to do a bigger setup over here with steel. Tried to do another off-base circuits. He was messing around trying to get some production modules, but never really ended up using it very much. That came quite late in the piece. Over here, more offsite plastic. So I haven't done Coalliquefaction before, but it really just doesn't produce very much oil. So I was pretty disappointed with this. I ended up having to train in some extra petroleum from down here. Yeah, so there's nothing particularly special about this base. It was just first time I've done a Deathworld, first time I've done Marathon, so just really slogging through it to see what it was like. Production tab, let's do there. So nothing too exciting. I'm not generating. Actually, can't even see the science because I turned it all off. But certainly wasn't generating anything particularly quickly. You can see a lot of blue, but actually in the end for yellow, I had these beaconed and I only had 3 yellows, but because of the beaconing, they were building really fast. Anyway, so as I said, nothing particularly special, just sort of wanted to record this for posterity so I can look back on it later. Got a Pax train there. Oh, I had an artillery set up. Yeah, I kind of beeline for artillery. I was really worried about behemoth biters spawning, but in the end, they weren't really that bad. The other thing that I wanted to say about this, no, I think I can't remember. Yep, anyway, let's launch this rocket and be done with this map. Launch. After this, I've been keen to start space exploration, but I wanted to finish this off first. The last couple of hours have actually kind of been a slog. I sort of tapped out and just been waiting for the rocket to finish. So there it goes. Ta-da! 49 hours. Probably won't be doing this one again, but glad I did it at least once.